Good afternoon, ROA. Jonathan C. here with Larry Provost from the National Cemetery Administration. He just gave an outstanding brief about all the services and details of what you can do to prepare yourself for your end-of-life plans. A lot of great information, and we can just start kind of from the beginning here. DD-214s, not everyone has them. What other kind of forms can people use to be able to be eligible to be buried at a VA cemetery?
Absolutely, Jonathan. As you mentioned, DD-214s, but not everybody may have a DD-214, especially those who may have been in the National Guard or served in the Army Reserve. So we definitely recommend any sort of documentation that can help verify a period of active duty eligibility that was other than for training, so other than your basic or advanced training or your 2 weeks in the summer and so forth. So those could include your NGB 22s, 23s, your separation orders, your retirement orders, and so forth. Anything that can help establish a period of active duty that was other than for training, those will help.
Perfect. And so now walk us through the three. This is, I think, the most informative part of your presentation. The three kind of services or three priorities that NCA has to the veteran.
Absolutely. Well, National Cemetery Administration, we really help veterans and their families leave three legacies, and those legacies are financial legacy, a legacy of peace, and a legacy of perpetual or eternal memorialization. And what we do with that, for the financial legacy, in our cemeteries, for both the veteran and the veteran's spouse, the opening and closing of the grave is free. The grave liner, which is like the vault, is free. The government headstone is free, and the forever care and maintenance of the grave is absolutely free for both the veteran and the veteran's spouse. Heaven forbid the spouse passes away first, who's not a veteran, the same benefit will still apply. And even if you choose to be buried in a private cemetery, you still can give the government headstone, marker, or medallion absolutely free.
Perfect. And then talk to me about the pre-need or pre-burial. So you're telling me I can register now and kind of have a spot saved for me at a VA cemetery today?
In a very strong sense, yes, but with one caveat. So pre-need is part of our second legacy, which is a legacy of peace. And what we do with pre-need is essentially the veteran signing up with us beforehand. It does not mandate that you have to be buried in one of our cemeteries. It merely provides the option so that when the time of need comes, the family doesn't have to go looking in the attic or looking in the basement or the closet for the DD-214 or the other discharge documents. And what that'll do, that'll save the family a lot of grief and a lot of heartache. It may also even help them save some money as well, because they'll understand that their veteran is actually eligible for burial in a national cemetery. We don't do reserved plots or set-asides, except in cases where both the veteran and their spouse are actually veterans. But with that, as long as there's space in any available national cemetery throughout the country, and that eligibility has already been determined or is determined at the time of need, you can go to any national cemetery in the United States that's open.
And so we can do this by website, mail, or you said fax too?
Even fax.
Okay. So. Is there it's va.gov/NCA or?
It's www.cem or sem.va.gov. And if you Google National Cemetery Administration, it'll easily come up. And if you further want to Google National Cemetery Administration pre-need eligibility, that'll come up as well.
Perfect. And then, so the last memorialization here. Talk to us about the different kind of ways the VA can work with that.
Absolutely. The last legacy is the legacy of perpetual or eternal memorialization. And what we do with that is we're ensuring that future generations remember those veterans that are buried within the confines of VA national cemeteries. So we do that through our headstones, our markers, our medallions, as previously mentioned. We also do it through presidential memorial certificates, which is a nice certificate signed by the current commander-in-chief. You can't go back in the past, but you can get a new presidential memorial certificate signed by the current commander-in-chief and every new commander-in-chief going forward. And there's an unlimited number that you can request as a family member, which is a really, really nice thing. And it comes in on very nice parchment paper as well. So it's just a very nice thing that honors the service of that veteran from the family, or excuse me, to the family from the current commander-in-chief. But we also look at a legacy of perpetual memorialization through our Veterans Legacy Program and our Veterans Legacy Memorial. In our Veterans Legacy Program, we partner up with educational institutions to where they actually go in and they have the benefit of doing research on the veterans that are buried within the confines of our cemeteries, and they publish that research, and that's a benefit to that educational institution, but it's also a benefit to the American public as large in ensuring that the memory of those veterans who are buried there is never forgotten. And with that, the final way of the legacy of memorialization is actually the Veterans Legacy Program, and that is the U.S. government's official online platform for remembering veterans who have passed away. And nearly 5 million veterans have a VLM profile right now, and the website is very easy to remember. www.va.gov/remember. And if you Google Veterans Legacy Memorial, that's also very easy to do. And with that, anybody can go in and leave an online tribute to that veteran. And there's also additional features to where you can upload pictures and so forth. Every comment is scanned just to make sure that everything is okay and so forth, and does not contain any speech that it shouldn't and so forth. Thankfully, those are very, very rare. And most of the comments, I would say 99.9%, are overwhelmingly positive and frankly very, very touching.
Excellent. We appreciate you coming out to Graceland. Appreciate you coming out to Memphis. Again, Larry Provost, National Cemetery Administration, giving us great information on something that we all need. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.